Platinum Black Ops 2 after 80 hours, but it can be done in about half that time if you follow these tips. Firstly, this is the PS5 port, and thus the Big Leagues trophy has been changed, but we'll get to that in a bit. I personally rate this like a 6 out of 10 3 playthrough 50-hour type Platinum, but if you're going for the DLC and it's 100%, you can easily expect another 20 hours of zombies on top. The Platinum is split into 3 parts: multiplayer, zombies, and the campaign, which is where you'll be spending the majority of your time. Starting with the fun stuff first, which is the multiplayer. Your main goal here is to reach level 55 and then prestige. This is very straightforward, but there are another 2 trophies you need to do as well. The trophies Party Animal and Trained Up will require you to win 10 rounds in the Party Games playlist and 10 in the combat training. For the latter, you'll be playing 6v6 with 3 bots on either team. This is a good way to get familiar with the game when starting out, but do note that this playlist is getting less and less popular as time goes on, so you may want to focus on that first. Then for the party playlist, the good thing is you don't need to be number 1 to win 10 of these rounds. Simply ending up in the top 3 is enough for the trophy counter to go up and makes this a lot more approachable for all you sub 1 KD demons. After you've done that, you should still be a long way away from prestiging, so I found Hardpoint, Domination, and Kill Confirmed to be the most point efficient game modes to level up quickly. I'm sure Nuke Jack 24/7 can be great too, but this playlist has been riddled with hackers and modders already that ruin your game and can auto pop all your trophies, so I'd personally try and avoid that as much as possible. Switching weapons in game modes also allows you to unlock attachments and medals for more bonus XP income. A good gun you can use is the Peacekeeper with the stock and quick draw, as this is unlocked instantly if you bought the season pass for the DLCs. Depending on your skill, you'll be spending around 20 hours in the multiplayer, but don't worry about rushing through this, as it's more fun to mess around with some trick shots or whatever than try harding against the nerds that are sweating away here. Now time for zombies, and as someone who wasn't familiar with zombies whatsoever, I was a little scared, but it's actually much simpler when you know what's happening. The annoying part about this, and what might put you off, is that you must have a group to do this with. You and a friend is enough, but a group of 4 is recommended if you're struggling, because it's needed for the trophy Tower of Babel to complete the Easter egg. If you don't have a group, drop a comment below the like button and help each other out, or create a boosting session on PSNP to find like-minded trophy addicts. I've left a Mr. Ruffle Waffle guide below you can follow to go through it, but do be aware that you need a little bit of luck to get it to work. There's 2 versions you can choose to do depending on the size of your group, but both are fine for the trophy. I've done the Easter egg 3 times and once on either side, but sometimes it just wouldn't work and honestly took over 8 hours on some attempts because of insane bad luck and unfortunate circumstances, so please be patient with your group when attempting this. Another trophy you might struggle with is Don't Fire Until You See. This requires you to open all 19 doors throughout the map without touching the lava or fire. You'll need at least 7,000 points and the wind turbine equipment from the spawn area to do this, and although it can be done solo, it's so much easier if you have a friend to help you out. This way, all you have to do is train a zombie and spawn for a few rounds, whilst your friend goes through the entire map opening up every door. It's even possible to go down or die and this trophy will still pop. You're also allowed to be hit by fire from the zombies as long as you don't touch the lava with your feet. So unless you're feeling overly confident in yourself, grab a friend or boosting partner to make this so much easier. For acquiring your own tombstone, you'll also need a friend to ensure you can pick it up when you respawn. Then defeating him without being attacked by him refers to the Avogadro that spawns randomly and is needed for the Easter egg. The 4 equipable items are the turbine with parts in the bus depot, the zombie shield at the diner, the turret at the farm, and the electric trap at the power station. The parts needed to build this have random spawn locations, so you might have to circle around the area a couple times before finding all 2 or 3 needed. The other trophies are pretty self-explanatory and you should get whilst working towards the Easter egg, and if you miss any you can go through another dedicated trophy run. The map might be confusing at first because I also didn't know you could run through the fog or thank the bus driver to start driving, but after a couple runs you'll remember where everything is. Now for the campaign, which is where you'll be spending the majority of your Platinum playthrough, the great thing here is that the trophy Big Leagues for winning 5 multiplayer league matches in the PS3 version is changed to simply starting the campaign here, so a massive W on that change. Most of the trophies will pop through story progression, but there's a lot of other ones to keep in mind, including missables and the daunting 160 challenges. So let me tell you how to efficiently go through it and not make the same mistakes I did. You have to complete the campaign on Veteran, and I didn't do that on my first run, so I highly suggest you start your first playthrough on Veteran because it saves having to replay missions just for that. It actually isn't that bad and very doable, although you might have a very common relaxing moment or two. When playing through the story, you should be doing 3 things. 1, to make sure you choose the right option for the missable trophies and the path you have to take. 2 is to grab all 3 intel in each mission. And 3 is to keep an eye out on the challenges to do as many of them as you already can. It's almost impossible to get all in one run, and each mission also has one challenge for beating it without dying. So good luck on Veteran, and although it's definitely doable, this is why you'll likely run through each mission at least 3 times. Like I said, I did Veteran after playing through the game normally first, and that way I was able to use any loadout I wanted, which can definitely make it easier. But again, if you're short on time, you might be good enough to do Veteran first try. You don't, however, need to do any of the 5 Strike Force missions on Veteran difficulty, so do what you want as long as you still complete their challenges. These challenges range from super simple things to really hard and frustrating ones that might honestly take you an hour to do because of terrible RNG. You'll know you've completed a challenge once you see career updated in the top left, but keep in mind that some of them don't show up until much later or even at all, so you'll need some patience. That's some WPS3 game design. There's only a handful of challenges I really struggled with, like with Ziggy to reach the Zap in under 60 seconds. For this, you want to jump when you're flat as much as possible, but the other thing is that the game doesn't tell you this, but please spam or hold, I don't know which one, L3 to sprint, because it may not look like it's doing anything, but it's literally impossible to make it in time otherwise. Trust me on that. Also, diving on a nade and surviving in the first level is extremely luck-based. Enemies hardly throw grenades, but I found waiting in the last checkpoint right behind the tree trunk they can't pass to be a very good spot. Then just make sure you time your dive right. Another was the Strike Force mission to kill 5 enemies with exploding cars, and I didn't think this would be as hard as it was, but this also took me over an hour because I could not get enemies close enough to the cars before they would explode. Using the turret is also a good method, but you just need patience and good timing to get the enemies in the right spot. And the last one that pissed me off was the jump at the very end of the Suffer With Me mission. As the name suggests, you will suffer, but that's if you don't time your run and jump correctly, so make sure to stay behind your 2 NPC friends and then sprint. If you can't sprint before the very end, jump at the very last second, or you will fall to your demise for another cutscene heavy 20-minute replay. Not dying in each mission might become frustrating, so make sure to do this on Recruit and have a loadout you're comfortable with. This is what I like to rock with, and it worked pretty well, especially with the target finder, which helps you shoot enemies and not your teammates, because if that happens, this will count as a death and you'll have to restart the mission. What you can also do is get yourself killed and reset the checkpoint, so that if you ever did miss a challenge or a path or whatever, you'll have another attempt at it. Do note that if you complete any challenges before getting to a new checkpoint, it won't save. I've heard people say that as soon as you see career updated, it's saved and you can quit the mission or die, but that's not been my experience, and I've had to finish the entire mission for it to count, so really focus on being smart with how you approach each challenge. There's a guide by Sir Palkia on PSMP that has the choices and challenges written out, and it can be a lot to keep track of on your first playthrough, but luckily if you missed a path choice or anything else, you can also rewind the story to replay the mission, but do note that this will force you to play the campaign again from that point onwards. It does keep your weapons and challenges progress, but you won't be able to freely choose your mission. After finishing the campaign and its choices, you'll probably be left with Showdown, and this will require you to go through 4 missions again and making the right choices. What I did was keep these last 4 for a no death run after completing everything else in the campaign to minimize replaying, because that's the last thing you want to do after already playing through them so many times. If you follow every tip I just told you, then you can easily do this in around 50 hours, but if you bought the Season Pass DLC, then get ready for another 4 zombie maps to complete the Easter egg and many other miscellaneous trophies on that you will once again need a group for. So if you're looking for anyone or have any other tips, leave a comment down below the like button, and good luck on your platinum journey. And that's it. See ya!